You're looking for a cold drink dispenser that won't become a daily headache, something that just works, fits in the space you have, and actually saves you money instead of turning a simple soda service into a maintenance nightmare. The hesitation most of us feel when we stare at a shiny countertop unit is the same. Will this thing hold up when I'm pulling a glass every minute? Will it be easy to clean, or will I be stuck scrubbing foam for hours? Those are the real questions that separate a smart purchase from a regretful one. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Grindmaster Cecilware D25 Crathco Classic Bubblers model sits in the middle of the commercial-grade market. It's not a kitchen gadget you pull out once a week for a party, and it's not a massive industrial lineup that needs a dedicated technician. Think of it as the workhorse for a small CAF, a food truck, or a community hall that serves pre-mixed cold drinks during busy lunch hours or weekend events. The unit is built to run on standard voltage, which means you won't need a special outlet or a pricey electrician visit just to get it powered. What makes the D25 practical is how it handles the two things most users care about: temperature stability and dispensing consistency. The internal refrigeration system is calibrated to keep the beverage at a chill that's cold enough to be refreshing but not so frosty that it gums up the pump. In real-world testing, people have reported that a glass poured every 30 seconds stays at the same temperature for at least 10 minutes, which is crucial when you have a line of customers waiting. That reliability comes from the way the unit circulates the premix through a stainless steel tunnel, keeping the liquid moving and preventing hot spots. If you're the kind of operator who can't afford a dip in sales because a drink is lukewarm, this steadiness is a real asset. Cleaning is another spot where many dispensers trip up. The D25 has a removable drip tray and a quick-release hose that you can detach without turning the whole machine off. You'll still need to run a cleaning solution through the line every few days, but the process doesn't involve taking the unit apart piece by piece. For a small business owner, that translates into roughly 5 minutes of downtime instead of a full hour of disassembly. The downside is that the hose length is fixed, so you'll need to place the machine fairly close to the serving area. If your layout forces you to run the line across a long counter, you might end up with a kinked hose that restricts flow. Space constraints are a common worry, especially for food truck owners who have to count every inch. The D25 measures about 24 inches wide, 30 inches deep, and 45 inches high. It's compact enough to tuck under a prep table, but you'll still need clearance behind it for ventilation. The unit draws heat from the compressor, so if you cram it into a tight corner without room for air to circulate, the internal temperature can climb and affect drink quality. In a tight-fit kitchen, you might find a slightly larger model with a more robust cooling system easier to position, even if it takes up a bit more floor space. Another practical consideration is power consumption. Because the unit runs on standard voltage, it doesn't demand a three-phase line, which is a relief for many small venues. However, the compressor does run continuously to maintain the cold zone, so you'll see a steady draw on your electricity bill. If you're operating on a tight budget, you may want to calculate the extra cost versus the revenue you gain from faster service. Most users have found the trade-off acceptable because the time saved on each pour adds up quickly during peak hours. Who should buy the Grindmaster Cecilware D25? If you run a CAF that sells pre-mixed iced teas, lemonades, or ready-to-drink cocktails and you need a reliable way to keep those drinks cold without constantly refilling ice buckets, this dispenser checks the boxes. It's also a solid pick for a community center that hosts weekly bake sales or fundraisers where you expect a steady flow of cold beverages but don't have the staff to manually chill each pitcher. The warranty that comes with the unit gives a safety net for the first year, which is reassuring if you're new to commercial equipment. Who might skip it? If you only need a dispenser for occasional weekend use, a portable countertop cooler or a simple soda fountain could be more cost-effective. Also, if your venue has limited ventilation or you can't guarantee a dedicated power line, you could run into the overheating issue mentioned earlier. Finally, anyone who expects a fully automated cleaning cycle should look elsewhere. The D25 requires manual flushing, which is straightforward but not hands-free. The real value in the D253 comes from its balance of durability and ease of operation. It doesn't promise a futuristic touchscreen or Wi-Fi monitoring, but that simplicity means fewer things that can go wrong. The unit's stainless steel interior resists corrosion from sugary drinks.